rather probably good afternoon, YouTube world. I will be reading out of Joshua chapter 2, verses 1 through 24. Won't be before you long. Then Joshua sent two spies from the Israeli camp at Acacia to cross the river and check out the situation on the other side, especially at Jericho. They arrived at an inn operated by a woman named Rahab, who was a prostitute. They were planning to spend the night there, but someone informed the king of Jericho that two Israelis who were suspected of being spies had arrived in the city that evening. He dispatched a police squadron to Rahab's home, demanding that she surrender them. They are spies, he explained. They have been sent by the Israeli leaders to discover the best way to attack us. But she had hidden them. So she told the officer in charge, the men were here earlier, but I didn't know they were spies. They left the city at dusk as the city gates were about to close. And I don't know where they went. If you hurry, you can probably catch up with them. But actually, she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them beneath piles of flax that were drying there. So the constable and his men went all the way to the Jordan River looking for them. Meanwhile, the city gates were kept shut. Rahab went up to talk to the men before they retired for the night. I am reading in Joshua chapter 2, and I'm just entering in on verse 9, where Rahab the harlot has hidden the spies. I know perfectly well that your God is going to give my country to you, she told them. She already know this. Thank you so much. We are all afraid of you. Everyone is terrified if the word Israel is even mentioned. For we have heard how the Lord made a path through the Red Sea for you when you left Egypt. See, the news about Israel and all of the miracles that God performed for them is already known. And we know what you did to Sihon and Og, the two Amorite kings east of the Jordan, and how you ruined their land and completely destroyed their people. So the people of Israel had an awesome reputation about the awesome God who worked on their behalf. Okay? If you're being blessed, don't just watch. Subscribe to the channel, as I do want to grow it to pass on the good news of the gospel. No wonder we are afraid of you. No one has any fight left in him after hearing things like that. For your God is the supreme God of heaven, not just an ordinary little God God. Rahab's eyes were open to the fact that God was great. Okay? Now I beg for this one thing. Swear to me by the sacred name of your God that when Jericho is conquered, you will let me live. Rahab already got faith that God gonna defeat Jericho. And she just saying, when that happens, since I done hid you out, would you just let me live? Along with my father and mother and brothers and sisters and all their families. She wasn't just selfish and acting on her own behalf, but on the behalf of all her family. This is only fair after the way I have helped you. In other words, the men agreed. If you won't betray us, we'll see to it that you and your family aren't harmed. They promised, we'll defend you with our lives. Then, since her house was on top of the city wall, she let them down by a rope from a window. Escape to the mountains, she told them. Hide there for 3 days until the men who are searching for you have returned. Then go on your way. But before they left, the men had said to her, we cannot be responsible for what happens to you unless this rope is hanging from this window and unless all your relatives, your father, mother, brothers, and anyone else are here inside the house. Come into the safety of the house. In other words, like the Lord is our place of safety. If they go out into the street, we assume no responsibility whatsoever. But we swear that no one inside this house will be killed or injured. However, if you betray us, then this oath will no longer bind us in any way. So everybody communicated their instructions on both sides and came into agreement. That's the way you negotiate a settlement, with clear instructions of what's going to be done, and then you keep your word. I accept your terms, she replied, and she left the scarlet rope hanging from the window. I just kind of see that scarlet rope as the blood of Jesus, protecting everybody that runs into his house of safety. The spies went up into the mountain and stayed there 3 days. How long did Jesus stay in that grave? 3 days and 3 nights, and then was victory. Then had returned to the city after searching everywhere along the road without success. Then the 2 spies came down from the mountains and crossed the river and reported to Joshua all that had happened to them. The Lord will certainly give us the entire land, they said, for all the people over there are scared to death of us. You see, they heard of the mighty wonder, miracle working power of God and how he came to save his people. And so when you proclaim the name of the Lord, he will protect you, he will save you. I hope and pray you have done just that. Jesus is the way. There is no other. Trust and believe. Give him your life, and he will save you and make a way for you, just like he did with these spies. Again, if you're being blessed, don't just watch. Subscribe to the channel so we can grow it and spread the good news of the gospel. Now you be blessed.